Let's talk Spurs draft pick. Let's just start with Avery Johnson. Let's just start what he had to say about the Spurs first-round draft pick.
You can't really underestimate the deep research in the scouting department from the Spurs. I'm a little bit surprised. I've watched this kid play 10 times. He plays in Waco, 80 miles from where I live. In the Dallas area. But again, I think this is a situation where this kid spends a lot of his first year or two in the G League. I think this is a pick where they're projecting him in 3 years. This is not a kid that comes in, he's averaged 9 points a game. He's not going to come in from day one and be a rotation player. So I think this is a situation where they think this is a player that they can develop.
I'm going to take this in two directions, Rudy. Mm-hmm. First, what he has to say in his opinion, and second, what that means to the Spurs if he's right. And if they agree with that. I don't know if they do or not. We won't, but we'll know in a bit. So let's get, first of all, given where we sit today with the rumors that are floating around with DeJounte and the idea that if DeJounte is moved to Atlanta and it's not for Collins, it's for Gallo and picks, whatever it is, that will signify to the Mike Jimenez's of the world that it is true. I forget his term for it now, not tank, structured rebuild or whatever we're euthanizing. Deep rebuild. There he goes. Whatever we're giving the fake moniker to. You're playing into that narrative. Does it also, so if the Spurs went and got a guy like Sochan, and their scouting report said, yeah, there's a long way on the offense. We're a long way from that. But in 2 years, if Coach England can do his gig, and he does follow the Pop Junior College for the next 2 years in Austin, that he will be a legit NBA Rashard. We can describe who we want him to be. But that tells you also, right, that we're in a structured, deep rebuild.
Yeah. All of these kids are 3-year projects. They're all one and dones. Now, the way that you go about making it a 3-year project is where people have a problem. Because again, all these guys, for the most part, there's always gonna be 2-3 guys that just jump off the boat and just hit the water run.
Right.
And they're gonna be great and they're gonna be rookie of the year. And yes, but for the most part, of the 32 first-round picks, 25 of them are 3-year projects. Now the Spurs, you don't learn throughout the 82 games. You learn, and your project is through Austin. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. Some people lead by screaming, yelling, and punching you in the face, a la Michael Jordan. And some people lead by clapping you up, saying, hey, man, keep going, keep shooting, tap you on the butt like Steve Nash and Tim Duncan. But at the end of the day, we can all get to championships by doing it either way. So, yes, I get it. We're frustrated with the Austin projects, but DeJounte Murray was in Austin, and we're in love with him, and people don't want to see him go.
But we didn't draft him at 9.
No, we didn't. Derek White was not drafted at 9
draft him
either.
At 9 either.
Josh Primo was drafted at 12,
and
he was Austin. So it's just the way they go about making their turning their projects into great players. That people that bothers San Antonio.
Okay, but
some of San Antonio.
Yeah, well, exactly. But by that, aren't we in that structured deep rebuild already? If that's the plan,
yeah, for sure. I think it's a rebuild for sure.
No further significance to DeJounte moving for picks. We're already in it, so let's just accept the fact. That's one part of the. But the other part of that is where I kind of fall, and I think Avery was trying to say the same thing. Like, yeah, but I don't see it.
You don't think he's that dude.
I don't know.
At 9, I don't know if you should be 3 years.
I feel like if there hadn't gone through the myriad of injuries at Baylor, we would have never even seen this cat. If they hadn't gone through, they lost a kid from San Antonio again. Lost him. They lost 3 on the front lines, and even after all that, he didn't. Well. He started a little bit. I'm not even sure Scotty Drew knew what he had during this season. Because he didn't. It wasn't like he stepped onto the campus and everybody went, "Oh man, we have found something." Midway through the season, they didn't even see it. Now we also drafted the freshman from Notre Dame who had the same kind of thing. he started off, and it might be the same kind of evaluation. These are kids, and they started off in a battle-hardened team and found their way some playing time, and once they earned it, they kept it. And there's a lot to be said for that. But at 9, when you think you're the smartest team in the room, and you're doing it again, even Avery's kind of like, kind of a head scratcher. I'd have thought at 9 you'd have gotten a guy that could be a rotation player, and you chose not to.
All we can do is cross our fingers and hope that, what are we in, 22? In 25, that Vassell and Sochan and Primo are like, oh. That's all we can hope for at this point.
Well, you're exactly right. That's what we're hoping
We're hoping that's what it turns. I mean, think about that. Those are your last 3 picks, right? Sochan, Primo, and Vassell. We gotta wait, man. We don't like it. We didn't bother us when you have Tim and you're still making the playoffs. But now you're like, okay, what are we doing? What are you doing? We're speeding up the process, and you can't allow anybody to speed up your process if you're going to be successful. Not even rabid Spur fan. But now, if you got it wrong, and you and Avery are just like, look, I just don't see it. I don't care if it's 4 years in Austin. I just don't see it. Then that's a whole different argument.
I don't think even Avery sees that. I just see, he's a one-dimensional guy right now, and it's hard to put him 9, in a regular rotation.
Like, it sucks that you have to take a guy at 9 and you say you got to leave him in Austin for 2 years. Nobody wants that. But if that's the case, then trade up to 4.
So, and I think you hit it on the head for so many of us Spurs fans is it's just so hard to get used to wait till next year.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, or the fact that there really isn't a wait till next year. It's wait till 24, 25?
24, 25.
It just seems like
a long way.
Long way, but at the same time, it was just 1 year ago today that an announcement was made as you joined the team. Your free agency began.
1 year ago today, I had told everybody I was going to leave my old stomping grounds. It was a weird day.
You announced you were seeking an unfettered free agent.
I couldn't tell though where I was going.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, I was on an NDA. I was like, I was like, I'm leaving. Just can't tell you where.
That was it's been a quick year,
dude. You kidding me?
We went live a year ago, January 3rd or 4th, something like that.
July 19th.
I'm sorry, July.
July 19th.
July 19th. We'll continue that trend of upward mobility